Hey everyone, it's Jordan. Welcome back to my channel. And guess what day it is? It's Wine Wednesday. So for this Wednesday, I am drinking MacMurray Estate Vineyards. This is the Pinot Noir. I've had this for a while, I just have not opened it. It's from Central Coast, it's 2017, California. I can't remember why I bought it. Probably had a good tag on the label at HEB. But Pinot Noir is my favorite, so we'll see how it tastes. Got a nice swirl, open the bouquet. There's a nice fruit smell to it. That is very smooth. It's not too sweet. It's not overly sweet, but you can taste the fruit in it. I would say it's full-bodied. It is. I like how smooth it is. It goes down really easily. I do really like the taste of it because you can really taste the fruit notes. It's not too peppery or anything. It's got a little bit of smoky flavor to it. I would say I really like this one. Yeah, I actually really do like this one. It is really smooth, and it's definitely it hits all the right notes for me. Where it's not too bitey, it's not too bitter, but it's not sweet either. It's just like right there, a nice mixture of both, and you can taste the fruit in it, and I like that. I can taste maybe there's like a little bit of cherry or something in it. Yeah, right, cherries and pomegranate. So yes, I can taste the cherry in it, which I like. It's good. Highly approve. So this week I am talking about Big Brother. Big Brother 22. I have been a Big Brother fan. It's been one of my little guilty obsessions. One of the only reality show I really ever watch. And I'm not like a super fan. I haven't watched all seasons, but I have watched many of the seasons. So when I heard that Big Brother 22 was going to be playing and that it was going to be All Stars, of course I had to tune in because as a fan, you know, I'm excited about like to see exactly who the cast is gonna be and what kind of gameplay we're gonna get, and it's something real. I mean, you know, sometimes reality TV is a little bit of an oxymoron because as soon as people know that they're on camera and on film, they might act a little bit differently, but it's still kind of fun to watch. I like watching the gameplay. I like, you know, just seeing what goes on, the alliances. I don't always watch the live feeds. I haven't been much of a live feeder this season. I do like watching it, and I do tune into the live feeds a little bit, but this season I haven't really done too much live feeding yet. A lot of times I've just been a little bit busy and kind of tired and not really able to tune in, but I have a little bit. So before the cast was announced, before the episode aired, of course there was a lot of rumors about the cast and some things leaked. So before the episode aired, I kind of had a really good idea of who was going to be on the cast just from, you know, kind of lurking on the Reddit and, you know, just reading and, you know, seeing people's Instagrams. And overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with the cast. Of course, seeing Janelle back, Janelle and Kazar back is kind of fun because, of course, they're legends. Janelle is iconic, and I just was very looking forward to seeing her play this season. And what she can stir up this season. And I know she's a great competitor. And let's see who else. Tyler, I liked Tyler in his season. He's very charismatic. He's a good player. I mean, he maybe makes too many alliances, but I like seeing him. It was interesting to see him and Bailey both on this season, and I was anticipating a little bit of awkwardness between them, but it was kind of funny just watching that unfurl. And let's see. Christmas. So I was a fan of Christmas Abbott before she was on Big Brother, just because I was into CrossFit, and she was a CrossFit person, and just what her body positivity, and she was a strong female. Of course, after her season, a lot of people weren't really big fans of her. I don't know if I would call her an all-star. She did make it to the final 3, but she was kind of carried on her season a little bit. So I don't necessarily consider her an all-star. Who else? Enzo, Meow Meow. So I like the cast, and when the first episode was really interesting. Of course, it wasn't quite as exciting without like the live crowd there and the mask. Everybody has to be a part, and it's so different right now, but it was just kind of fun to watch. And I don't know about that first HOH competition, the head of household competition, it seemed like the females all got the hole on the hole on the very end, and the males had it really easily. So I'm not I don't know how I felt about that HOH competition. And plus, for live TV, it seemed like it took a long time, and for a 4-minute limit, it just didn't seem like the smartest idea. And then of course, like when you get to the have-not room, and the have-not door was locked, so that was a little bit of a fiasco. So first episode was just kind of funny, and it was just really interesting to watch. Very different than like other seasons. Having a live move-in was kind of exciting. I don't know how production felt afterwards, because of all the mishaps that happened, but I kind of enjoyed seeing a live move-in, and not having to wait a week for the feeds. So there seemed to be a lot of action happening within the first 3 days of moving in. Like, I saw a lot of gameplay, and I haven't watched too much of the live feed, so I won't be like spoiling too much as far as things that haven't aired at this moment on live television. So let's see, who was the first? Cody was the first HOH, and it's nice seeing Cody. I like seeing Cody, and I thought Janelle and Kazar playing for safety, I think it was a good call, but then it was because they were most likely going to be targets, because of course Janelle is the comp beast, and Kazar
and they got guys named Laser and Blazer and Taser
and Jazar, what you call them. So I think it was a good move, I guess, but also that now they can't use it again. As far as like what has happened up until this point, and let's see, I think at this point, who's sitting in the best position? Probably, I would say maybe Enzo, or Tyler, or Cody. Let's see. Enzo, he's kind of been under the radar, and I don't feel like he's really overplaying too much. Tyler and Danny might be overplaying in some aspects. I think Tyler literally has a final 2 alliance with almost everyone. There's a lot of alliances this season. A lot of alliances this season. But I feel like Enzo is kind of guaranteed Final Six at this point. And I think he's in a good position as far as safety for the upcoming weeks. It's still fairly early on, so, anything can happen. As far as the twists this season, I'm really liking the twists this season. Sometimes, the twists have been like, oh my gosh, really? This is just dumb. But I think the twists have been really good. The have-not twist, I really enjoyed that, the 4 have-nots have to pick the next have-nots. That's kind of cool because, that guarantees like somebody doesn't have to be a have-not for 2 weeks in a row. And would they get off of slop already? So I did watch the live feeds a little bit, and I know that Nicole A was having a really hard time. She was really sick for a while, had to go to the DR, and slop is just not the best. I kind of miss the days of them doing the just pure peanut butter and jelly all the time, and the food competitions were interesting back in those days. But I know that I'm just not really a big fan of the slop punishment for the have-nots because it's been making a lot of people sick, and especially during this time, it's just, I don't know if it's the smartest move. The safety suite twist, I think has been good, and it's made the game really interesting. How the safety suite has been playing out, so I'll get to that. So Memphis is HOH right now, and the way he's playing, it just seems like he's got a lot of people pissed off at him right now, and how he wanted everybody to play the safety suite. I mean, yeah, that's good for his game, but it's just, because he's gonna clear out a lot of the field for him for next week. But having everybody play, I don't think both Devon and Bailey should have both played, because what if one of them needs it for next week? I mean, they're in an alliance together and they could save each other, and I think maybe one or the other maybe should have played the safety suite, not both of them. Nicole A, of course, should have played the safety suite. I don't know if she would have won or not, but the fact that she's up on the block, of course. Memphis basically told her, I think you should play the safety suite, and if you are hearing that, maybe you should play it, because to me that's saying, oh, I am in danger of being on the block. So Memphis gave her the hint. She didn't take the hint. She didn't play the safety suite. She missed out, and now she's on the block. So Christmas won the safety suite, and I'm glad that she saved Ian, because I like Ian, and I think Ian having that conversation with Christmas was one of the best subtle moves that he could have made for his game, and that literally saved his game. Because Memphis, if you haven't realized, Memphis is out for revenge against Dan. And it's just like, Memphis, shut up about Dan already. I mean, he's all about this revenge on Dan. Play your own game. He was a little upset about Christmas using her safety on Ian. Maybe he should have had this conversation before the safety suite was played on who he wanted to be on the block. And I mean, what does Memphis really need to get revenge for? Ian's season was so long ago, it's kind of irrelevant. And Memphis has been acting like his HOH is indefinite. And I think he's been a little too cocky with his HOH. And just so you know, I just wanted to let everybody know that Memphis is planning to get revenge on Dan, just in case you didn't notice that already. I'm in need of more. Now, Christmas's gameplay. I don't think that she's playing a smart game at all. According to her, good gameplay is to waste her safety suite on a meaningless HOH where she was gonna be safe anyway and win the comp to show that she's this comp beast and make herself a target for all of the other house guests. I mean, way to announce yourself as a huge target and a danger and a threat to everybody else by saying, oh, I'm a comp beast. I know she wants to make up for her season because if you didn't know, she broke her foot. Part of the live feeds, I do know that she has mentioned it quite a lot. If you didn't know, she broke her foot. So yeah, she definitely wants to prove herself as this, you know, strong, competitive female. I think she's got that CrossFit mindset a little bit too much. You know, just wanting to go all out and, you know, prove herself as a comp beast. And that's not necessarily good gameplay as far as Big Brother goes, because if you're gonna win competitions, you're a target. Like that's competition for you. That's a threat. You know, if you want to go all the way, you want to eliminate the biggest targets, and she's just pinning herself as a big target right now. So I don't think that she's necessarily playing the game very good. Although she does have she's in that alliance. There's a lot of alliances right now. I can't even keep them straight right now. And I think Memphis is lucky right now. He seems to, you know, he cleared a lot of ground as far as the safety suite goes for people not being able to play the safety suite next week, because he might need that safety next week. And I can see him going up on the block on week 4 or 5, because I feel like he's making himself a target right now. But I like the safety suite twist. I like the strategy that the twist, you know, kind of just, it requires, you know, a little bit of strategy play. You gotta really think, and just, I don't think that people should have wasted their safeties. I just don't think Memphis played the smartest HOH that he could have. I think he was a little too cocky and just kind of pissing everybody off. Not really good for his gameplay. And Kevin was getting on my nerves last episode when he was on the block, because he just seemed like he was too beggy. I don't think that's the word. You know, just too desperate. Like he was, I don't know. You need to just man up, make those conversations, not just like being just, oh my gosh. I don't know. I love Kevin, but I think that his attitude as far as when he was on the block was a little bit too, just not aggressive enough. I think Bailey and Devon are in good places right now. And I can see Danny getting targeted a little bit sometime soon. Tyler and Cody, I think, are in pretty good positions right now. They both got multiple alliances, just my opinion. Though I think Enzo can still creep back up to the top. As far as standings in the house, I think, let's see, who would I rank? Let's see, top 5, I would say Enzo, Cody, Tyler, Bailey, Devon. That's kind of how I see it. As far as HOH for next week, it'd be nice to see an Ian HOH. Although I would feel a little bit anxious for him, because I know that he gets anxious. I mean, he didn't even want to really pick a have-not for this week, and of course, Nicole F, you know, stepped up to the plate and volunteered herself, because her and Ian have a little bit, I guess they have a little alliance going, and you know, that was nice of her to take that pressure off of Ian. But I can see Ian getting very anxious as far as just nominations because of how he really just didn't even want to pick a have-not. But I really like Ian. I'd like to see him really go far. I'd like to see him win again. He's one of my, I think he's probably my contender for this season, who I'd like to see win, because I like him. I think he's a good guy, he's a good player. Nicole F, You know, she's won before, and I like her outside of Big Brother. I like to follow her. I think she's super cute, and she's just, some people don't like her, and of course people are calling her Snake and Rat, although that little theory was debunked by Derek. But she's been a little bit whiny and cryy this season. Now, Nicole A and David are on the block this week. I think I see Nicole A going home this week. I mean, we'll see what happens we'll see who wins the veto tonight, and who's going to be playing the veto. I'm not going to spoil anything because I do know from the live feeds what happens, but that episode is airing tonight, so I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who's going to be watching the episode. But as far as the nominations go right now with David and Nicole A, I feel like Nicole A is going to be the one that's going home this week. So all in all, I'm enjoying this season. I like it. It's just always been a kind of fun show for me to watch. I know not everybody's a fan of reality TV or shows like this, but personally, I've enjoyed it. I like it. If you have never watched Big Brother in the past, you know, I probably mentioned a lot of terms that you're not familiar with, like HOH. So there's the head of household. You know, there's everybody comes into the household, and then there's a competition for the head of household. The head of household will nominate 2 players to be on the eviction block, on the chopping block. Then there's the veto competition. So the head of household and the 2 nominees will play for the veto, along with 3 other players chosen at random now. It used to be chosen by the players, but now it's chosen at random. And they play the veto competition. Whoever wins the veto competition has the power to veto one of those nominations. And if one of those 2 nominations is vetoed, then the head of household has to nominate somebody else to put on the block. And that's what you can call a backdoor if you want to put if the head of household wanted to put 2 pawns up and bet on winning the veto competition so that they can take one of the pawns off and put the real target up on the block, because now there's no chance of them getting off the block because there's no more veto. That's called a backdoor. And then there is the eviction episode where all of the players vote to evict, besides the head of household and the 2 nominees, they vote to evict one of the 2 nominees. And that nominee is voted off. When it gets to a certain point, I can't even think of how many it is right now. I think it's 7, when there's 7 house guests left. Is it 6 or 7? I'll correct myself later in a little, we'll type it in. That's when the jury vote happens. So people, the players that get evicted don't go home, they go to the jury house. And that's who votes on the final 2 players in Big Brother, who vote on the winners. So everybody that goes to the jury house, they end up coming to the finale. They'll watch recaps of each episode. They don't watch live feeds or anything, but they're sequestered. They don't, get to get any kind of feedback from the outside world to influence their decision. They're just voting based on gameplay and what they feel about the certain players. So whoever's in the jury house, that's who ends up voting for the final 2 contestants on Big Brother, and whoever wins the final vote is the Big Brother winner. And then there's also America's Favorite Player, who we all vote for. So in summary, that's probably not the greatest summary of Big Brother, but that's how Big Brother works. And I've always enjoyed watching. I've watched for quite a few years now. I haven't seen all seasons. I've skipped some seasons, but it's just kind of a fun reality show for me to watch. I've just always had fun watching it. And I like this season so far. I am excited to see some of the players back, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen this season. I like the twist so far. I am kind of, I guess my person that I'm rooting for to win right now, it would be Ian. This one was really good. I do really like this. See, I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. MacMurray Estate Vineyards. I'd recommend it. The next few videos might be a little bit different or a little bit delayed. I'm not sure because we just bought a house. So things are going to start looking a little bit different once we start moving and get adjusted to the new house and have a new filming area. So it's not going to look the same, but I'm excited to be taking that step, and we'll be making videos from the new house pretty soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe. And I hope to see you next Wine Wednesday. Bye.